Here's an interview from one of our past shows on Rock and Metal Revival. If you're interested in hearing full shows, go to our Facebook page and check out our list of affiliates for times and places where you can hear Rock and Metal Revival. There is Sign of the Times from Jack Russell's Great White right here on Rock and Metal Revival. And dude,
love that album. I love that voice. Oh my God,
that voice takes me back.
He can sing anything, and I'd listen.
Exactly. We'd like to welcome Jack Russell back to Rock and Metal Revival. Welcome, Jack.
Thank you for the praises. I appreciate it. The voice is, it's still mine. Forget whether it's worth or not. It generally works out every day pretty good. Sometimes it has its days where it wants to go back into the shell, but for the most part, it's pretty good. I still have a good time doing what I do.
Well, Jack,
how are you gentlemen?
We're good, and we were just talking before we got you on the phone, and we were talking the last time we had you on the air with us. It was right when He Saw It Coming was released, and that was about 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2017. Yeah, that's when we did put the last album out. We're working on a new one right now. It's hard, because you want to put out something that is equal to or greater than, and it's not always possible. Mm-hmm. You can't, because each work has its own. It's like it's like if you're God and you're creating a person, what person is better than the next person? I mean, they're all people, they all have their own uniqueness and their own, good qualities about them. So you can't really, you can't really do that, but still you try,
Well, with He Saw It Coming, I've actually, when we knew you were coming up to this 80s in the Dells Festival, I've been listening to it pretty hard for the last 10 days, and that album still has teeth. I mean, that's a great album.
Great songs.
Yeah.
A lot of variety.
Thank you. It's a record I'm very proud of. It was many, many years of my life coming into fruition. I didn't have the catalyst, i.e. Robbie Lochter and myself to bring it out, because obviously a cake is all about the ingredients, and and you change one ingredient and the whole cake is going to be different, or you change a chef, and maybe the way the sous chef does something a little different than the last guy you had will make the whatever you're cooking taste completely different. And I think it's the same way with this. But the combination of Kendall and Russell was definitely a different combination than Lochter and Russell. Two great songwriting combinations, I believe. At least I like to think so.
Yeah.
But very, very different sides of the same coin, so to speak.
So when you play live, how many the new tunes will we hear?
We haven't been playing too many because here's the problem. Here's the quandary is, you have a lot of the hardcore fans coming out to see the show.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, not really so much the hardcore, but a lot of the festival crowds, they'll come in, they'll go, oh yeah, that song Once Been Twice Shy. Oh yeah, that song was Savone. Oh yeah, that song, Rock Me. Oh, Save Your Love. Yeah. A lot of them don't know anything after the Hooked album, or even some of that. They moved on, and then you bring them on something that they just recorded. Some of them don't even realize that I'm not even in the band. They're like, oh, who are those guys? We just went and saw Great White, and you were there. It's like, okay, well, 8 years ago, there was these two guys, and they broke up. It's strange, the public, and especially with the internet, you think everybody would know everything, but it's exactly the opposite.
Oh.
It's more confusing now than it ever was. I think people just don't keep up with it. I mean, I'm not one of those guys that goes on the internet and reads all the metal rags and see who's in what band. And I mean, look, we're in our 50s, man. We got lives,
Yeah, exactly.
If we ain't got college tuitions to pay. We got food to buy and whatever else. But so we play some. We try. I'll try to work some out for the Wisconsin show, just for you guys.
Because Sign of the Times is a great tune.
Thank you. Yeah, that's it. That is one of the songs that we got done. I was like, wow, that really came out good, and it was surprising to me because it still had a lot of angst and and youthfulness to it, and all that takes to make a great rock song, and yet it had a very poignant message.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, and I see that message every day when I walk around. All I see is people on their cell phones. I saw a guy walk right into a wall the other day at the airport. And I about fell over.
He deserves
He just
it.
was staring at his cell phone. I'm watching him walk towards this wall. I'm just waiting for him to see it. And I almost said, hey. And I thought, nope, don't say nothing. Whack. He basically had the imprint of his cell phone on his face. He looked around. He was so embarrassed.
Man. Nice.
Well, you know, Jack, over the years, I've seen quite a few Great White shows. I saw you guys open for Kiss on the Revenge Tour, and I saw you with the Scorpions at Alpine Valley. And I've also seen the smaller shows, the club shows, and I've seen, you know, your version of Great White. How does it feel after all these years when you look out in the crowd and you see generations? You know, like I would bring my nephew to a Great White show, and I know he knows once bitten, twice shy.
You know, I gotta tell you, I was speaking to somebody about this the other day. It you know, there's been times where it's literally brought me to tears. You know, because you look out and you start your band. You know, I was 11 years old when I started my band, and I started this one when I was 17. And you don't think about being 50. I mean, 50 is like, my God, you 50. That's like, you know, that's like Smithsonian.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
And you don't think about that, and then you're 20 and you're looking at your friends in high school out in the audience, and you're, oh yeah, wow, this is cool. And then pretty soon everybody's gone. You're like, where'd they go? And they're all having kids, and pretty soon they come back, and then their kids are there, and then, you know, and then you see, we've met several, I mean, dozens and dozens of people that, you know, this is my granddaughter. She's a big fan of you. And I'm like, what? Your granddaughter? Like, how old am I? You know, I'm 58, man. When did you start listening to it? You know, but it's great. You know, it's a neat feeling. It makes you feel like you're really giving something and putting in something into the world, something positive. Hopefully, you know, you don't want to. I mean, I just want to give that feeling that I got when I was a child.
Yeah.
You know, and that I still get. I shouldn't say a child. I'm always a child.
Yeah.
Yes, my wife, she'll tell you. But, you know, when I listen to a song, I want to hear it. I want to feel a certain way. I'll know exactly what song to put on, and it'll take me where I want to go. You know, and if my music can, you know, take people and transport them, you know, emotionally where they want to be, you know, whether it's be sad, happy, you know, melancholy, whatever. That is the coolest thing in the world, to be able to help mold people's emotions.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of my favorite songs is "Rolling Stone" because I'm in a wheelchair. I'm in a wheelchair, so I'm always Rolling Stone. So, where'd that song come from?
That was about. I was working on a tune when Jack Blaze was producing us, and I had this song, and he goes, dude, why don't you write a song? I'm like, I just can't. I had the melodies. I go, I just can't think about what to write about. He goes, hey, why don't you write about your old friends in high school? Just write about people, write about real, you know. He goes, you'd like to write about real stuff. I go, yeah. He goes, write about people in your high school, what they were doing then and what they're doing now. And I went, all right. So I went to my office in my studio, and I sat down with a tape, and, you know, just started rolling it, and started, you know, I had the melodies worked out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I started writing about, you know, sipping down, shouting about, yeah, we used to shake it out. You know, those days I remember when anything was all right. I started remembering what it was like back then when the band first got signed.
Nice.
You know, all down the neighborhood where I lived, all the kids, you know, were out, all right, Jack. Oh, everybody's playing my radio, my music through the radios, and, you know, had the videos just run through the stereos and make it even louder. And then later on, you know, as we got older, you know, things started happening. I started writing about what my friends were doing now. You know, one guy I met out in the desert, and another guy was building houses, and another guy was in jail, and another guy OD'd himself, you know, and Brentley bought a gun. You know, that was one. And it was just talking about the way things were and the way they ended up and where they were. kind of where they were and where they are now, you know. And it didn't all work out so good, but, you know, we sure had a lot of fun.
That's pretty awesome.
You know, Jack, over the years, you've stepped to that bluesy kind of feel. Are you a big fan of the blues? Blues music?
Oh, yeah. You know, are you kidding me? Life is, you know, I would rather sing. I have a band called Jack-Russell and the Shelter Dogs, and it's a blues tribute band. We do stuff like, you know, oh God, there's a video out there somewhere of us doing a bit of Gary Moore. Let's steal the blues with you. That's all.
Nice.
I love singing that kind of stuff. It suits my soul. You know, my voice can just wrap around it. It's kind of like, it feels like a nice cushy beanbag chair. You know, when I sing the blues, it's just, my voice is just, I don't know, it just goes there. That's how I was. I don't know. I wasn't trained that way. My voice just found, you know, what it liked to sing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what I was good at singing, and what felt good, what felt natural and real and not forced. And it always had this little, you know, blues edge to it. And that's why I think, you know, jumping to another subject, and I don't want to stay on this, but, and not to be disrespectful, but my former band were having, or may still be having, problems with their lead vocalist, is because they're hiring guys that aren't blues singers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they can't, you know, they can sing the notes, you know, and they can hit the notes and all this kind of stuff, but it's, the blues has got something about it.
You gotta feel it.
It's timing. It's off timing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way you, I don't know, it comes from your soul, and you can't fake it, you can't buy it, you can't learn it. I mean, either you have it, you're born with it, and you raise it like, you know, a child, you know, as you grow up, you nurture it, or you don't have it, you know, and I think that's been their biggest battle.
Yeah.
You know, I think the guys that they've gotten, you know, all in all are, you know, they're good singers, you know. I mean, Terry Luce is a friend of mine. You know, I don't know the other gentleman, but, you know, that's what I think, that's what makes the difference between that band and the blues, and that's within the blues and not the blues.
Yeah, totally get that.
How to describe it.
I heard do some live stuff with the newest singer, and he does, he can hit the notes, but the notes don't sound good. There's just something to him. There's the vibrato isn't right. The feel, he just doesn't. He ain't lived it. You know, you can tell.
For me, it's just my opinion, and you know, there's no feel. There's no urgency. There's no grit. There's no. It's just you know. It's just singing a song. It's like when you go to church and you sing, you know, my country tis of thee, sweet land of liberty.
Yeah, exactly.
Together going, my country tis of thee.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really feeling it, you know.
Exactly. You guys did some great covers of the Zeppelin. I still love that Great Zeppelin, Great Zeppelin album.
We just finished a new album. We just finished a new album called Great Zeppelin 2.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh.
It'll be out soon. It's got, we did like Kashmir, we did House of the Holies, we did,
getting goosebumps. Getting goosebumps.
A bunch of songs that weren't on the first one, you know?
Wow. Cool.
So, yeah, it'll be a hoot when that comes out. People are going to go, whoa, because, I mean, I didn't, you know, when we went to decide to do that, I thought, God, what songs could we do? I don't want to do the same songs, but there's some songs that I want to do again because they were so cool, you know? So, you know, we did a couple of songs like Stairway, we did that again, and we did The Rover again, but, you know, I want to do some songs that people wouldn't expect. So I thought, what would be really hard to do? And then I go, Kashmir, that would be really hard to do. I mean, musically, it was like, when we played it live, it was like, God, it was like having an orchestra. Because I used in-ears, and they were just like, then I felt like I had the LA Philharmonic in my head. You know?
Oh, nice.
It was so cool. I just got the chills.
Awesome, because I throw that Great Zeppelin on every once in a while when I'm in the van with someone else, and I'm like, yeah, check this out. You bet you never heard Zeppelin sound this good. And they're like, wow, that's awesome.